You get on the treadmill or hit the pavement, you watch the minutes tick by, you sweat, you're doing everything you've been told is right. You're burning those calories. But then you step on the scale or you try on those same jeans and nothing has changed. The number won't budge. That stubborn belly fat clings to you like a shadow you can't shake. You feel the frustration building. I'm working so hard. Why is nothing working? What if I told you the problem isn't your effort? The problem is the advice. For decades, we've been sold a single, simple story for weight loss. Move more, burn calories. But if you're over 40, that story is not just incomplete. It's often working directly against your biology. You're facing something I call metabolic lock. Here's what's happening inside your body. When you rely solely on chronic, steady-state cardio, especially as you age, you're placing a repeated stress demand on your system. Your body, brilliant and adaptive, interprets this constant demand for energy as a signal of scarcity or crisis. In response, it does two counterproductive things. First, it ramps up production of the stress hormone cortisol, which is a direct command to store fat, particularly the dangerous visceral fat deep in your abdomen that wraps around your organs. Second, it becomes incredibly efficient at conserving energy, slowing your metabolic rate to hold on to every precious calorie, making future fat loss even harder. You are, in essence, training your body to be a better fat store. The proof is in the data that flips the entire narrative on its head. A definitive 2024 meta-analysis from the Global Metabolic Research Institute, which synthesized findings from over 12,000 adults in long-term studies, arrived at a startling conclusion. While consistent cardio provides undeniable benefits for cardiovascular health, it was ranked as the least effective standalone strategy for targeting and reducing lethal visceral belly fat. The analysis showed a 73% failure rate for achieving significant abdominal fat loss through cardio alone after 6 months of effort. 73%. That means for nearly 3 out of 4 people, the treadmill is a path to frustration, not transformation. This is the moment your perspective has to shift. The key to unlocking your leaner, healthier body after 40 is not about creating a bigger calorie deficit through sweat. It's about changing the conversation inside your body. It's about switching off the store fat signals and switching on the release fat signals. And this critical conversation doesn't start in the gym. It starts in a place you visit 3, 4, 5 times a day. It starts on your plate. This is where true metabolic control is won. But before we dive into the solution, I need to understand the scope of the struggle. I want you to think about all that effort, all that time. How many hours per week have you been devoting to cardio, pounding away, only to be met with disappointing or non-existent results? Be honest with yourself and comment below with your number. Whether it's 3 hours, 5 hours, or even 10. Let's see the true cost of the old myth together.
Now let's unlock the first and most powerful lever in your metabolic reset. This isn't about eliminating an entire food group, creating deprivation, or following a fad. This is about strategic timing. I call it the evening carb switch, and it works by aligning your food with your body's natural hormonal rhythm, not fighting against it. Here's the problem we're solving. Insulin is your body's primary storage hormone. When you eat carbohydrates, yes, even the healthy, whole grain ones, your blood sugar rises and insulin is released to usher that sugar into your cells for energy. However, when you consume a significant amount of carbs in the evening, especially as your activity level winds down, you create a prolonged state of elevated insulin overnight. This insulin presence acts like a biochemical lock on your fat stores. While insulin is high, your body's ability to tap into and burn stored body fat for fuel is essentially switched off. You might be sleeping, but your fat-burning potential is on pause. The solution is brilliantly simple and incredibly effective. Concentrate 80% of your daily carbohydrate intake in the first half of your day, ideally before 2 p.m. Your breakfast and lunch become your primary fueling meals. Then for your evening meal, you make a deliberate switch. Dinner becomes a plate built on high-quality protein like salmon, chicken, or lentils, abundant fibrous vegetables like broccoli, spinach, or asparagus, and healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. This combination is deeply satisfying, supports overnight repair, and, most crucially, allows insulin levels to fall and remain low, creating a long, clean metabolic window for your body to burn fat while you sleep. The science behind this is robust and precise. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Chrononutrition tracked two groups following identical calorie and nutrient goals. The only difference was timing. The group that front-loaded their carbs lost significantly more abdominal fat. Specifically, they reduced their waist circumference by an average of 4.2 centimeters, over 1.5 inches, in just 4 weeks, without eating any fewer calories. The researchers concluded that this carb timing protocol optimized insulin sensitivity by up to 27%, making their bodies far more efficient at using the food they ate as energy, rather than storing it as fat. So, what does this look like on your plate? Let's visualize it. Your lunch plate might have a generous portion of quinoa, a sweet potato, or brown rice, alongside your protein and veggies. Your dinner plate, after the switch, is a vibrant landscape of color, a large grilled chicken breast or a hearty piece of salmon, a mountain of roasted Brussels sprouts and peppers drizzled with olive oil, and perhaps half an avocado. The energy from your lunch carbs fuels your afternoon, and the clean, low-insulin evening meal sets the stage for metabolic repair and fat oxidation overnight. Here's your pro tip for maximum effect. When choosing your front-loaded carbs, make sweet potatoes a top choice. They're a complex carb rich in fiber, which provides sustained energy without a sharp spike, and they're packed with nutrients that support overall metabolic health. They are the perfect slow-burn fuel to keep you satisfied and energized. This single shift is your foundational move. It requires no special foods, just a shift in perspective. To make this real, I want to know what we're working with. What is your single biggest carbohydrate craving or habit? The one you'd find hardest to move to earlier in the day? Is it bread, pasta, or rice? Tell me your number one below. Your honesty is the first step to making this powerful switch work for you, not against you. Now we move from the strategic framework to a precise, active tool. This is about introducing a specific food that doesn't just passively avoid fat storage, it actively encourages your body to break it down. I call this the hepatic trigger, and it targets the metabolic command center, often overlooked in weight loss, your liver. The problem is a silent one, a sluggish, overburdened liver. Your liver is your body's premier detoxification organ and metabolic processor. When it's bogged down by processed foods, sugars, and environmental toxins, its efficiency plummets. A congested liver becomes inefficient at metabolizing fats. It starts to store fat within its own tissue, a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and its ability to produce the enzymes necessary to break down body fat for energy is significantly impaired. In essence, a tired liver is a fat-storing liver. You can be eating well, but if your liver isn't firing on all cylinders, your results will be stalled. The solution is a humble kitchen staple with profound biochemical leverage: apple cider vinegar. Let me be perfectly clear. This is not a magic potion. It's a metabolic catalyst. The power lies in its main active compound, acetic acid. Peer-reviewed research shows that acetic acid works in several powerful ways. First, it enhances liver function by supporting the pathways responsible for fat oxidation. Second, it has been shown to increase the activity of AMPK, AMP-activated protein kinase, an enzyme often called your metabolic master switch that tells your body to burn stored fat and improve insulin sensitivity. Third, it can modestly slow the digestion of carbohydrates, preventing those sharp blood sugar and insulin spikes that lead to fat storage. The evidence for its targeted effect is compelling. A rigorous 12-week trial conducted at the Swedish Center for Metabolic Health divided participants into two groups following the same balanced diet. One group took 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water
before their two main meals, the other took a placebo. The results were definitive. The ACV group experienced a 20% greater reduction in dangerous visceral belly fat, the deep organ-hugging fat most linked to disease, compared to the placebo group. They also showed significantly improved markers of liver enzyme function. This wasn't about calories, it was about using a specific food compound to trigger a more efficient metabolic state. Implementing this is simple, but the details matter. Here are your clear instructions. Take 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind with the mother culture, and mix it into a large glass of water, about 8 to 12 ounces. Drink this 10 to 15 minutes before your 2 largest meals of the day, typically lunch and dinner. This timing is key, as it prepares your digestive and metabolic systems for the incoming food. Never ever drink it straight. The acidity is potent and can damage your tooth enamel and the delicate lining of your esophagus. Here is your non-negotiable pro tip. When you drink your ACV water, use a straw. This simple hack directs the liquid past your teeth, providing a crucial layer of protection for your precious enamel against the acetic acid. It's a 5-second step that preserves your dental health for a lifetime. This hepatic trigger is a daily habit that signals to your liver and metabolism to prioritize fat burning. Now, I'm curious about your experience with this powerful tool. Have you ever tried incorporating apple cider vinegar into your routine before? If you have, you know its unique power. If you haven't, today is the perfect day to start. Let me know by commenting either yes or first time below. Your answer helps me understand how to guide you best on this journey.
Now, we address the enemy of every well-intentioned plan: hunger. That gnawing feeling that leads to poor choices, derails willpower, and can even cause you to lose precious muscle along with fat. To build a sustainable, effective fat loss strategy, you need a foundation that keeps you powerfully satisfied. I call this the metabolic anchor, and it is the key to making this not a diet of deprivation, but a sustainable way of eating that feels effortless. The problem is twofold. First, hunger is a biological imperative. When you're truly hungry, your primal brain takes over, craving quick energy, usually sugar, and overriding your logical plans. Second, when you're in a calorie deficit to lose fat, your body will look for fuel wherever it can find it. If you're not giving it a clear signal to preserve muscle, it will start breaking down muscle tissue for energy. This is catastrophic, as muscle is metabolically active. It burns calories just to exist. Lose muscle, and you slow down your metabolism, making future fat loss harder and regaining weight almost inevitable. The solution is to prioritize the most satiating, muscle-preserving nutrient at every single meal: protein. But not just any protein. For a true metabolic anchor, we want a source that does double or triple duty. This is where lentils and legumes, foods like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans, become your secret weapon. They are a powerhouse plant-based protein, but their magic goes deeper. They are also packed with resistant starch and soluble fiber. This combination is profound. The protein provides the building blocks to maintain and repair muscle, sending a clear, stay strong signal to your body. The resistant starch acts as a prebiotic, traveling to your colon where it ferments and feeds the specific strains of good gut bacteria that are scientifically linked to a leaner body composition and better metabolic health. It literally helps cultivate an internal garden that supports your goals. The science behind this anchor is robust. A landmark study published in the International Journal of Obesity compared 2 groups on a calorie-restricted diet. One group followed a standard balanced diet. The other anchored their diet, replacing significant portions of other foods with legumes. After 6 weeks, the legume group had doubled the fat loss of the standard group. The researchers attributed this to 2 major factors: a 30% increase in diet-induced thermogenesis, the calories your body burns just to digest food, and dramatically higher scores on satiety scales. Participants simply weren't hungry, so they naturally ate less without fighting cravings. Implementing this is simple and flexible. Aim for a fist-sized serving of cooked legumes at every meal. This isn't about precision, it's about proportion.
Let me give you 3 effortless ideas to make this real today. 1. A hearty lentil soup with vegetables for lunch. 2. A massive chickpea salad with cucumber, tomato, lemon, and olive oil. 3. Black bean tacos using large lettuce leaves as wraps filled with beans, salsa, and avocado. These are satisfying, nutrient-dense meals that will keep you full for hours. Here is your essential pro tip for convenience and success. Canned legumes are perfectly fine. They are a lifesaver for busy lives. The one step you must not skip: rinse them thoroughly under cold water in a colander to wash away up to 40% of the added sodium from the canning liquid, making them a truly healthy, quick anchor for any meal. This metabolic anchor transforms your eating from a battle against hunger into a practice of sustained nourishment and steady progress. Now, I'd love to know what already works for you. What is your current favorite go-to source of protein? Is it classic eggs for breakfast? Versatile chicken? Omega-rich fish? Or are you already a fan of powerful legumes? Share your favorite below. Let's see what anchors our community.
We've timed our carbs, triggered our liver, and anchored our meals. Now we target the most cutting-edge frontier in metabolic science: the direct line between your gut and your waistline. This is about addressing the root cause of inflammation and stubborn fat storage that diet and exercise alone often miss. I call this the probiotic prescription, and it works by healing your internal ecosystem. The problem is one of imbalance, a condition sometimes called dysbiosis. Inside your gut, trillions of bacteria make up a complex community. When this community is healthy and diverse, it supports your metabolism, reduces inflammation, and even regulates hormones. However, due to processed foods, stress, or antibiotics, the balance can shift. Harmful bacteria can proliferate. These bad microbes produce inflammatory compounds that seep into your bloodstream. This chronic low-grade inflammation does 2 damaging things. It makes your cells resistant to insulin, locking fat in storage, and it directly signals your body to store fat, particularly as dangerous visceral fat around your abdomen. You can be doing everything else right, but if your gut flora is working against you, progress will hit a wall. The solution is to reseed your gut with beneficial bacteria using nature's most potent delivery system: fermented foods. We're not talking about pills or expensive supplements, but real traditional foods. The top choices in this prescription are kimchi, the spicy fermented Korean cabbage, and kefir, a tangy fermented milk drink like a drinkable yogurt. These are not just healthy foods, they are living foods, teeming with a diverse array of potent probiotics. When you consume them, these beneficial bacteria travel to your gut, where they crowd out the fat-promoting strains, reduce gut permeability, healing leaky gut, and produce compounds like short-chain fatty acids that directly enhance fat burning and reduce inflammation. The evidence for this gut-fat connection is no longer theoretical, it's quantifiable. Pioneering research from the American Gut Project, one of the largest microbiome studies in the world, analyzed the diets and body compositions of thousands of adults. Their finding was striking. Individuals who consumed the highest variety of fermented foods in their weekly diet had on average 33% less visceral belly fat than those who consumed little to none. This correlation held true even when total calorie intake was the same. The science is clear. Diversity of gut bacteria from fermented foods is an independent predictor of leanness. Implementing your daily probiotic prescription is simple and requires no cooking. This is a condiment, not a main course. Your daily dose is just 1 small serving. This could be about 2 tablespoons of kimchi served alongside your dinner protein, or half a cup, roughly 120 milliliters, of plain, unsweetened kefir enjoyed as a mid-morning or afternoon snack. Think of it as a daily functional supplement, like taking a vitamin for your gut. Here's your critical pro tip, especially if you're new to this. Start slow. If your gut isn't accustomed to these powerful probiotics, diving into a large serving can cause temporary bloating or gas as your microbiome adjusts. Begin with 1 teaspoon of kimchi,
or a quarter cup of kefir every other day for a week, then gradually increase to the full daily serving. Listen to your body. It's a sign of the positive changes happening within. This prescription completes the circle, moving you from external diet rules to internal biological harmony. Now, I'm genuinely curious about your perspective. For many, the world of fermented foods is new and unfamiliar. Does the idea of adding kimchi or kefir to your daily routine excite you with its potential, or does it feel a bit intimidating? Let me know by commenting "excited" or "tell me more" below. Your honesty guides this journey for everyone here.
All right, let's lock this in. This is your moment. Let's synthesize everything into your simple, powerful 30-day blueprint. You are not collecting random tips. You now have a complete system with 4 precise levers to reprogram your metabolism from the inside out. First, your transformation recap. Here are your 4 powerful levers. The timing rule: front-load your carbs. Make breakfast and lunch your fueling meals, and let dinner be lean protein, healthy fats, and colorful vegetables. The trigger: 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water before your 2 main meals. This is your daily metabolic signal. The anchor: a fist-sized serving of protein with a focus on legumes like lentils and beans at every meal. This is your shield against hunger and muscle loss. The flora fix: 1 small daily dose of fermented food, kimchi or kefir. This is your internal repair crew, fixing the gut-fat connection. This isn't a restrictive diet of don'ts. This is a strategic way of eating. You are moving from counting calories to sending signals. Every meal is a choice. Do I signal store fat or do I signal release fat? You are now in control of the conversation your food has with your body. In 30 days, this isn't just about a number on the scale or inches lost. This is about putting on a pair of jeans that haven't fit in years and feeling a surge of pride. It's about having stable, clean energy all afternoon without the 3 p.m. crash. It's about looking in the mirror and finally seeing the change you've been working for. Your start is simple, and it starts tonight. At dinner, apply the first rule. If you normally have pasta or rice, make the switch. Have a double serving of vegetables with a generous piece of salmon or chicken. Drink your ACV water before you eat. That is your day 1. Tomorrow, you add your fermented food. Build this system 1 meal, 1 day at a time. Consistency beats perfection. The science is clear. Your body is an incredible, adaptive machine, and it is waiting for the right instructions. You are the one who gives them. Your journey starts with your very next meal. I want to see who is ready to commit to this 30-day metabolic reset with me right now. If you are starting today, type the words "I am in" the comments below. Let's build this community of change together, support each other, and prove what's possible. If you found this blueprint valuable, subscribe to the channel for more science-backed strategies to take control of your health. Thank you so much for watching.